Good afternoon, I'm Raylene Ramsey. This is your afternoon news fix for Thursday, the 25th of July. The Green Party says new government child poverty targets will plunge thousands more children into hardship. In the House, MP Ricardo Menendez-March has accused the Social Development Minister of setting weaker targets to account for the impact of her punitive welfare policies, such as sanctioning beneficiaries, likely to affect children's well-being. Louise Upston is also the minister responsible for child poverty, and she blames the watered-down targets on the last government.
The new intermediate targets have to account for the fact progress reducing child poverty is miles behind what was forecast when the last government originally established the targets.
Shortages are causing turmoil at the Rotorua Hospital. RNZ reports wards are sending patients back to the ED because of a lack of staff. A leaked letter also reveals the hospital risks losing its teaching licence because it hasn't enough doctors with the right credentials. Health New Zealand is currently considering sending Rotorua ED doctors to help fill a shortage in Taupō Hospital. Resident Doctors Association's Deborah Powell says creating one problem to fix another doesn't work.
In order to cover, we're calling people in who should be having their time at home, and there's only so long that can last.
Peter Scott will remain Environment Canterbury's chair. Scott was investigated and given a formal warning after revealing on Newstalk ZB he'd been running some farm irrigation without a consent. He says Lynn subsequently initiated the consent process. Emily Ansell has more.
Local Democracy reporting says councillors discussed the issue in a public excluded part of yesterday's regional council meeting. Councillor Paul Diche had called for Scott to step down, but says there was no vote. He says a report cleared Scott, so it was resolved he'd resume his role.
A University of Otago professor says the Crown should accept all recommendations in the Abuse and Care report. The Royal Commission of Inquiry estimates about 200,000 people were mistreated in state and faith-based institutions from 1950 to 2019. Its 138 recommendations include urgent redress, financial compensation and police investigations. Wellington Associate Professor Tristram Ingham says the government needs to accept the measures and start doing them.
For the Crown to not accept every single one of those 138 recommendations is for the Crown to say it knows better than the Commission and the survivors.
Searchers have found a body off the coast of Whakatane after a man fell off a boat near Whakaari White Island about midnight. In sport, the Canadian Olympic Committee believes there was no reason to suspend coach Bev Priestman in the wake of the Olympic drone scandal. 2 New Zealand trainings have been spied on by drones operated by Canadian support staff members. France has been conditionally picked as the host of the 2030 Winter Olympics, while Salt Lake City has been formally awarded the 2034 Games. Japan's Hiroki Sakai is expected to be a team leader when he joins Auckland FC ahead of their maiden season in football's A-League. I'm Raylene Ramsey, and that is your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.